The fig is always in present time. It is not concerned with its history, which is so much more immense than any of ours. The brilliance of the fig was that the cultures that moved alphabets into Europe, that moved mathematics and astronomy and art and tapestries, the fig was part of it, no less than any of those other more understood subjects. The fig talks about flexibility. It was moved throughout the world. You know, when you meet somebody of Italian descent, they talk about the fig like it was their own mother and father. And the fig has this ability to adjust and accommodate constantly. If I, as an elder, needed coaching in my senior years, if you, as a young person, needed coaching in your youth, it's about our constant choosing to be flexible, to go with the flow, to move forward, to take time to adjust and accommodate and go forth. And that's the lesson of the fig. It does it brilliantly. My name is Lloyd Kreitzer. I am the Figman of New Mexico. So who I am? I'm the lover of the fig is who I am. I actually fell in love with a fig about 14 or 15 years ago, and it's a relationship that just keeps going. I find myself spending hours every day with the figs, whether that's watering or repotting or researching, and it's something I continually want to do. You know, in Shakespeare's time, they used Shakespeare's works to see what was happening in their life. Just like some people will use the Old Testament or the New Testament or the Quran or any of the great Buddhist literature or Hindu literature, the Vedas. So whatever we do for a living, wherever we put our intelligence and our time, is how life tries to teach us life lessons. And so the fig is always trying to teach me. So to be personal for a moment, I'm in the process of letting go of sorrow from a relationship that ended 7 months ago. And on Sunday at a grower's market, somebody asked, what was the perfect soil for the fig? And in telling them about the soil that the fig needed, I was giving myself exactly the wisdom and the counsel that I needed in letting go of the relationship. I said, you know, as humans, we often try to give plants the most rich soil. And you don't give rich soil to a desert plant. The fig, the yarrow, the tansy, the lavender, the rosemary, they don't want rich soil. You can kill them with rich soil. You'll get foliage on a fig, but you won't get fruit here in our desert Albuquerque, New Mexico climate. And so it helped me to understand that in that last relationship, I gave her aspects of love and understanding and patience that I had never given anyone. And for a moment I understood. It's like the other question to ask is not what kind of love we're capable of giving another person, but actually asking the other person, what love is it that you need and want and can utilize right now? And that's a whole other question. Asking the fig what it needs rather than asking my brain to create the most perfect soil that is exactly what the fig doesn't need. So it doesn't matter what we really do in life as long as we see that it's always analogies, it's always counsel. That's how life tries to teach us through that media. And apparently I'm still learning through the media of the fig. The fig will ask of a person who plants one to be a little more intimate, to be a little more involved, to be a little more even devotional of the fig. It's not just a plant. It involves a bit of a relationship. And of course I encourage a great relationship with the fig. I never know whether people are buying my up to 92 New Mexico unusual varieties or whether they're buying that relationship connection that I have with the fig that is so joyful in some ways, a training in some ways. It's just different than any other plant. It is something about the fig. And after all these years, 14 years, I don't even know what that is. All I know is I'm still in relationship. And that's an everyday, sometimes every moment kind of experience. And for some reason, I'm very willing to be involved to that extent.